Now then, let's actually go to true, real international news. We're going to talk about Iranian protests, right? So the protests have started in September, back in September, on 16th of September, after the death of Mahsa Amini, right? While she's been in custody for like not properly wearing hijab or some shit like that, which is fucking insane. First of all, it just breaks my heart when I look at Iranian people in like 1970 or something like that. All this like in bikinis, just regular people, fucking amazing, just chilling, doing that, all of the regular European stuff, and then the fucking shit, and then the revolutions, then this fucking garbage religious state, and yeah, and it's garbage ever since. But I didn't want to basically cover the riots, but a month ago, because I knew that well, it's not gonna end. It's not gonna end in like a week or something like that. It's not gonna end in 2 weeks or whatever. And now it's been almost 2 months, 1.5 month, almost 2 months soon. And it doesn't look like it's stopping, but it doesn't look like it's getting anywhere really, like truly. And I've seen a lot of people basically on Twitter saying like, "Oh, look at fucking like Russian people, Belarusian people. Look at protest in Iran. Look at the protest in China. Look how they're doing. And where are you? Why are you not protesting?" And I'm like, okay, let's talk about this in half a year, basically. Let's see where it goes. Because people in Russia were protesting in 2011, 12. People in Russia were protesting in 14. They were protesting like in it's 18 probably, something like that. People in Belarus were protesting in 15, in 2010, in 2020. And did it go? Did the authoritarian dictatorship regime, did they go anywhere? No, they didn't. In fact, everything got way shittier, and way worse. So if you feel like these protests will do things, okay, let's see it. Let's just see it. Because so far I haven't seen that it's actually doing anything really. But just recently the news came, basically Iran suspends morality police, but what does it mean? And it means nothing really. It doesn't mean that that women can actually not wear hijabs anymore or stuff, things like that. No, everything still stays the same basically. And in fact, there were like really conflicted reports. What does it even matter? Like, did anything actually change? Because apparently not really, because Iranians basically said that no, we are not liquidating, we're not like removing basically this morality police. So it's something like somebody basically mistranslated or like misquoted or misunderstood the general prosecutor of Iran, and so that's that. So I don't really even get like, is Al Jazeera actually reporting it correctly right now, or yeah, or like just what is going on? So does anything change? Will anything change? I mean, apparently not. So yeah, like somebody said that we don't have morality police anymore. But what does it mean? Like, did it come from some real official? Was it implemented in some law? Not really. Once again, women are still need to like cover their heads and things like that. So yeah, seemingly nothing really has changed. Strict dress codes still basically exist, still there. And I really hope that this time, because there have been protests in Iran, but once again, did it go anywhere? Not really. 2019, protests, deadly protests, almost 1,500 people killed. Did it change anything? No, it didn't. And so hopefully these protests will not be just about hair, just about head scarves and things like that. Hopefully it will be about, like, how long are we gonna continue living under this dictatorship regime? And there is no answer to this. Like, I don't know how it ends. Nobody knows. If other dictatorship countries basically anything to say, anything to go by, basically, it will end in a lot more people, a lot more dead people, and then things will get even worse for everybody else. Because then, when the protest is over, are over in, like, whatever, let's say 3-4 months, when the wave of protests is actually coming and, slowing down, then they will start actually chasing and punishing all those who tried to destabilize, basically, the country. Like, they're not even, like, they're going for, rapper who protested over death of Mahsa Amini, I think I pronounced it correctly, faces execution. They are they're taking the niece of some leader of Iran, arresting. So, like, nobody's safe there. It's not like these giant dictatorship fucking regimes care about any lives, really. All they care about their power. All they care about staying and continuing to stay in power. That's it. They don't care about anything else. Well, I mean, they care about the wealth, their own wealth. But, about at least 20 people are already facing death penalty. Because, of course, the fucking shithole like Iran, this in the same manner as a shithole as Belarus, has death penalty. Of course. Why not? So yeah. I don't know. I don't think truthfully, I would love for people of Iran to actually change things and actually, to be able to change something. But I'm extremely skeptical about it. Extremely skeptical. I mean, almost 500 people already dead. More than 18,000 people detained. This is like an unprecedented scale. But yeah, I wanted to cover it a little bit at least because, this is, it is, even though Iran is so far away and I don't know much about the culture, the people, and so on and so forth, right? The situation itself is really close to my heart. Because I know what it means to live in a dictatorship state, in an oppressive state, under an absolutely inhumane regime, when everything you say can and will be used against you. You can't criticize anything, any government, whatever, and thus you cannot invoke any changes, basically, because changes require some criticisms and then reaction to criticism. And if you're not allowed to criticize anything, because it is not how it is in Latvia, it is one rule for me here in these fucking shithole countries. It is one rule for me and another rule for you, another law for you, right? So those who are in power can do whatever the fuck they want, while those who, just regular people, there's only one path, well, two paths. Either you are able to escape that place, or you just do some benign shit and then you fucking die. Or you try to fight for your freedom and then you die. It's like, okay, cool story, amazing fucking shit. So I deeply sympathize to people who are stuck in situations like that, who have to live in countries like Iran, like modern Russia, to be honest, as well. I do not sympathize with those who actually go to war and cross the border with Ukraine. Those immediately, those people I cannot. Like, I immediately basically revoke my sympathies and empathies. But just regular people who want to live a normal life, who want to survive, and who actually would want to live in a good place, especially now where you have access to the information. You can open with relative sort of ease, depending on where you are. You can open the internet, you can read things, especially if you know English language. So, yeah. This, by the way, just came, like a day ago or something like that. Iranian protesters call for 3-day strike as pressure on regime builds. I don't think the pressure on regime builds, really, to be honest, not that much. But this is the only way how people can invoke and induce some changes, because this is the only way how people can directly influence their state. It is by redacting their own labor, refusing to go to work. This is the only way. Like, at least if you don't have weapons, if you are not ready to actually fight against military, against police, if you don't have that big of a support somehow, from maybe external places, from I don't know, internally maybe from conflicting parties or something like that, right? If you are simply living under the rule of one party, circa 1984 style, right? Dictatorship, totalitarianism. If you're just a regular person, you're a group of people, well, it doesn't matter, right? You're people who are living under the oppression. The only way how you can at least try, basically, to create a revolution is peaceful revolution, that is, at least the beginning of it, whatever, is by refusing to go to work. It should be done on mass scale. It should be done on the most critical factories, basically, and the most critical companies that provide the most amount of money to the regimes, because every regime still has some bills to pay. They need money. They need money, if anything, to pay for army and police to keep the regime, satisfied and forever on the top, right? If you don't have money to pay to those guys, or the money starts dwindling, problems start to arise. And some people, maybe even inside the army and whatnot, might start question: do I need to be basically this allegiance? Do I need really to follow it to whatever dictator, ruler? Or maybe we can create our own thing. Because that's the other thing, how revolutions happen. It's when military junta, whatever, military army switches sides, basically. When there is a division inside the army, inside those with the guns. You need the guns. That's unfortunate fucking thing of all these revolutions and all these things. So God fucking forbid anybody to actually live in those places. It's fucking terrible, because chances of survival are not high in the long run. But yeah, at least a strike, and just refusing to go and work, especially if it's governmental giant, I'm saying, factories. Usually those places, I can draw some parallels with Belarus, wherever. Usually those are giant factories that are controlled by the state, who are responsible for oil, refinery, or just production, for gas, for minerals, basic natural resources, right? Usually it's that which is controlled by the state, and that which brings the state the most amount of money. So if people on those factories can actually unite in their effort and en masse stopped working to the point that, you know, a factory collapses basically or stops production, right? Then something can be done about it. But if people are not fast enough, if they're not shrewd enough, they don't understand that, then unfortunately, because Belarusian people didn't understand it. Once again, I'm just drawing some conclusions, because Belarusian people went to work 5 days a week, and then 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, they were protesting. It's like a fun fucking weekend activity, which was the brain deadest, whatever, the most brain dead fucking thing that they could have done. Had they stopped for like a week or two, work, just boom, just refuse to work. That's it. I'm pretty sure by the end of like what first month, dictator would have to step down. Because his fucking oil refineries and all of these fucking places would start feeling fucking pressure. Maybe it would not have ended in like a month. Probably it needs like 3-4 months, whatever, of like really people not working, just not working. That's it. And yeah, but it's harder obviously because you need some to save some money, right? And you need like at least something to work, at least like some, or you need to like stockpile products, or you need at least like just regular shops to work. So it's kind of, yeah, it's not as simple, but I'm saying that is like as a regular person, your labor is what you've got. You can offer it, and you can just say no, I'm not going to. You can refuse to work. So yeah, I want to see how it develops. That's why I didn't report. I wanted to see how it's gonna unfold. So far, it's unfolding in the way I kind of thought about. The way that, yeah, just because you're protesting for a week, 2 weeks, month, 2 months, doesn't mean that dictatorship would suddenly say like, oh yeah, of course we're gonna definitely right now all go whatever somewhere, and you have the country. Doesn't fucking work like that. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So yeah, I want to say I'm praying for people for Iran, but can't say that I'm that religious to do that. But I wish them luck. I hope that they will be able to actually get rid of their tyrants, and I hope it's gonna be 2020. The 2022 is basically over, so the beginning of 2023, I hope it's gonna be a good year for them in terms of getting rid of, like I'm saying, tyrants, authoritarians, removing all the fucking nonsensical Sharia laws and whatnot, and actually trying to rebuild the country as it was back in 1970s, as a good, like, kind of a European style country. I don't know if they want it, but certainly the photos from 1970s look better than from 2020 or something like that. So yeah. Anyway, I think we're done with Iran for now. Let's go to